You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. I'm Pinky Webb. China summons the Philippine ambassador after President Bongbong Marcos congratulated Taiwan's president-elect and independence advocate Lai Ching-te. In this report by Tristan Adalo, Philippine officials clarified Mr. Marcos's remarks while Beijing told the president to read more on the issue of Taiwan.
China firmly opposes President Bongbong Marcos's congratulatory remarks to Taiwan President-elect Lai Ching-te. The Chinese Foreign Ministry says in a press briefing that it has summoned Philippine Ambassador to China Jaime Flor Cruz to express Beijing's protest and dissatisfaction over the president's remarks. Beijing adds this is a violation of the One China policy and a direct interference to its internal affairs.
Whatever the results of the election, the basic fact that there's only one China in the world and Taiwan is part of China will not change. And the international community's prevailing consensus on upholding the One China principle will not change.
On Tuesday, President Marcos said the country is ready to work more with Taiwan in areas of mutual interest. Lai was quick to acknowledge the message of President Marcos and emphasize the friendship between Manila and Taipei. For Manila Economic Cultural Office Chairman Silvestre Bello, the remarks should not be taken against the president and that it is not a violation of the One China policy.
The congratulations came before he could assume as president. Hindi pa siya presidente. So there is no violation of the One China policy. A gesture. Kasi naman, in every contest, may nanalo. And usually yung nanalo, agad-agad nakakatanggap ng kadami-daming congratulations.
But if the tensions escalate, Bello says contingency measures are in place to ensure the safety of around 200,000 OFWs in the island.
We are aware of the tense situation between Taiwan and China. So, conscious of our responsibility sa ating mga countrymen, especially ang ating OFW, we have a standing contingency plan. Naka-in place lahat yan.
The Foreign Affairs Department was quick to issue a clarification on President Marcos's congratulatory remarks to Taiwan President-elect Lai Ching-te. The DFA maintains the Philippines continues to adhere to the One China policy, which means recognizing that there is only one China and Taiwan is part of China. Some international relations experts consider the message of the president as a calculated move.
The president is quite cautious, in trying to balance its interest in congratulating and being and affirming the new president of Taiwan, but also making sure that it doesn't cross any lines and anger China.
Tayo ay isang demokrasya, so nandun din sa congratulatory message ni Pangulong Marcos na nagpapahayag siya ng congratulations sa Taiwan dahil sa pag-hold ng isang democratic process. So tayo, ang election ay mahalaga din para sa atin. At hindi natin, kumbaga hindi katanggap-tanggap sa atin kung meron mang ibang bansa na umano ay nag-i-interfere sa ating electoral process.
Analyst adds the Philippine government should reconsider Taiwan as a security issue as Beijing maintains an aggressive stance towards the self-governing island.
A pro-Taiwan leader won and to say that they are still fighting for the sovereignty. This is also a reminder for us not to give up on our sovereignty.
We need to securitize the issue of Taiwan. Taiwan is not simply a repatriation issue of 200,000 Filipinos. For several reasons. Number one reason is if China occupies Taiwan, it will dominate the region. It will have an easier time occupying the Philippines.
The DFA has yet to issue a comment on China's summon to Ambassador Flor Cruz. Tristan Adalo, CNN Philippines.
And let's go straight to the source of the story. We have National Security and International Studies expert Dr. Rommel Banlaoi. Dr. Banlaoi, welcome to the source. Thank you so much for your time. Good to see you again.
Yes, good morning, Pinky. Good morning, Paul.
What are your thoughts on the president's congratulating Taiwan's president-elect?
Well, we need to learn lessons from the harsh reactions of China from the congratulatory message. And the situation calls for the need to develop a more effective and politically sensitive approach on how to deal with China as our neighbor, and at the same time, how to deal with Taiwan, because we also have important relationship with Taiwan. But I think the current government needs to learn more how to separate economics from politics. And apparently, the congratulatory message of President Bongbong Marcos has a strong political undertone that really irked China. And that is why we are seeing now this kind of reaction from China, because China is truly sensitive when it comes to the issue of Taiwan, because Taiwan for the People's Republic of China is an integral part of its core interest, and its core interest is non-negotiable, and therefore we have to pay more serious attention to the to the political sensitivities of China when it comes to the Taiwan issue.
So are you saying it would have been better for the president to have remained silent?
It would have been better if we kept mum on the situation, or maybe frame a more politically sensitive statement in order to express his feelings towards Taiwan, but at the same time not offending the sensitivities of China, considering that the Philippines continues to maintain a one China policy where we recognize only one China, and affirming that Taiwan is a province of mainland China.
Yeah, but what would be a politically correct congratulatory remark? Are you saying that it could have been okay for the President Bongbong Marcos, to have congratulated President-elect Lai Ching-te, yet put in that same statement the Philippines continues to adhere to the one China policy? Is that basically what you're saying? Is that a politically correct, sensitive way?
If I were to edit the tweet of our president, I would have written that we congratulate the Taiwanese people for the successful holding of their democratic elections, and we reaffirm our good relationship with Taiwan in order to promote greater trade, people-to-people contacts, and commercial relationship, especially the protection of our 200,000 people, Filipino people in Taiwan, which has become an integral part not only of Taiwan society but also of Taiwan economy.
So basically,
that's that kind, because you have to avoid some political statements, because William Tai or Lai Ching-te represents a figure that is really unacceptable to China, because President Lai is advocating a strong independent separatist position. And China is very unhappy with his political victory. So our president could have given China due regard when it comes to that kind
but here's the
of
question.
situation.
With a tweet like that, Dr. Banlaoi, with the tweet of the president, the one we're showing right now, is this tantamount to violating the one China policy?
Well, in my interpretation, there is no intention on the part of our government to violate the one China policy, because the president's statement made a strong caveat that we adhere to the one China policy. But our problem now is how China is interpreting the statement. And as we have seen it, China is interpreting it very negatively, because number one, it feels that the statement is a clear violation of a one China policy. And second, more alarming to me, is it interprets the tweet as an interference to the internal affairs of China, because for China, Taiwan is not an international affair. Taiwan is an internal affair of China. So that's our problem, is with the reaction of China. We have a clear intention. First, to sustain our good commercial and cultural relationship with the Taiwanese people and the Taiwanese government. And second, to adhere to the one China policy. But unfortunately, the way it was extent, the way the statement was framed is being interpreted by China in a negative way. So
Very
we have to
negative
deal
way.
with the reaction of China.
Very negative
Yeah.
way, to the point that they summoned our Philippine ambassador to China, and also a statement telling the president, our president, President Bongbong Marcos, to read more. We're going to talk about that after the break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Please stay tuned. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. I'm Pinky Webb. Our source today, National Security and International Studies expert Rommel Banlaoi. Dr. Banlaoi, so what are your thoughts on China summoning our ambassador there?
Well, it only indicates that China is really furious about the statement warranting the summon. So we have to pay attention to that kind of reaction from China. That for China, summoning our ambassador is really delivering a strong message that Taiwan is very important in the political agenda of PRC. So we need to see the result of that summon.
Yeah. And to add to that, Dr. Banlaoi, is that China, through its a statement released by the Foreign Affairs spokesperson, said this: we would like to make it clear to the Philippines it should refrain from playing with fire on the Taiwan question. What exactly is it when they say refrain or avoid playing with fire on the Taiwan question, sir?
Yeah, we need to pay serious attention to that kind of statement, because China is already becoming sarcastic. It means that China is really mad, that China is really furious, that the Chinese government is truly offended by the statement. And we need to understand the consequence of that. You see, even in the official statement from the Chinese Foreign Ministry, it is becoming very sarcastic already, indicating that China is really sensitive on the Taiwan issue, and we have to pay serious attention to that kind of sensitivity.
Right. And to add to that is this: we suggest President Marcos read more to develop a proper understanding of the ins and outs of Taiwan question and come to a right conclusion. Is this warranted, sir?
You see, the statement is not only sarcastic, it is already insulting our president. So you see, it only indicates that China is really reacting very negatively, and we need to do something to put an end to this kind of situation, because it's not helping to the friendly relationship of Beijing and Manila, and it will lead to the serious deterioration of our bilateral relationship. So this issue needs a serious rethinking in order to find ways on how we can repair the damage caused by the statement of our president, and find ways on how we can move on in order to remain friendly with each other.
Right.
You see, because if we cannot control this situation, our bilateral relationship with Beijing will only go worse.
And then very quickly, sir, what should be the government's next move?
Well, our government next move is to have a serious discussion with Beijing, and clarify that we have no intention to violate a one China policy, and we don't have the intention and even capability to interfere in the internal affairs of China. Our intention is just to sustain our friendly relationship with Taiwan, not only because we consider Taiwan as an important trade partner of the Philippines and commercial partner of the Philippines, but because also we need Taiwan cooperation also in order to continue the protection of our 200,000 overseas Filipino
OFWs in Taiwan. Thank you so much, International Studies expert Dr. Rommel Banlaoi. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Pinky, and it's a pleasure to be with your program. God bless you.
And you too. Thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.